So in this section, we're going to look at, should I be worried about getting something wrong around other Muslims as a new Muslim? This is the question this woman's going to ask an imam. But from my perspective, that depends largely on the individuals and communities surrounding you. In some Muslim communities, new converts are given correction, social pressure, suspicion or accusations of insufficient commitment. And the issue is not simply Islam itself. The issue is the degree of ideology, rigidity within that community. So you could be okay in one community and find yourself in trouble in another. The more radical, absolutist, or institutionally rigid a religious organization or environment becomes, the narrower the acceptable range of opinion, the greater the pressure to confront, the less tolerance there is for uncertainty, the greater the social cost of disagreement, and the more closely behaviour is monitored. Now, a convert warning. Many converts prepare for prayer, fasting, dietary rules, and religious practices. Far fewer prepare for community expectations, and they are going to be variable. A new convert should not merely ask, "What must I believe?" They should also ask, "What happens when I make a mistake? What happens when I ask difficult questions? What happens if I disagree? What happens if my conclusions lead my conscience somewhere else?" And the true character of religious community is often revealed not by how it treats conformity, but how it treats mistakes, honest questions, and peaceful disagreement brings to that community. And again, remember, it depends on the level of radicalism within that community.
Thank you. Yeah, I think you mentioned something there because obviously I've been to the Masjid a few times, and being a new Muslim, I feel, and this is the thing, it's very welcoming. Everyone's trying to be kind and welcoming and warm. But I feel, as I don't know, this saying we say, I stand out like a sore thumb, we say in the UK. Like, I feel as though maybe I'm not doing things right, and people might notice, or if people might not see how genuine I am about this path, you know. So I think it's important to, like you say, to just understand your own heart and to follow that. Really, you mentioned something there about how it may feel a bit daunting, you know, at times. You know, for example, I'm going to just jump onto prayer. You know, I'm still learning how to pray, and I wanted to ask, if I make a mistake, is it still valid? Like, if I don't do something correctly, is it still valid? If I don't get it at the exact time, is the prayer still seen as valid? And welcome everyone that's joined the live. Thank you for the comments as well. So we're so deep in conversation, but thank you so much for sharing as
So what we've got is she's saying, how far will Islam compromise with a lack of discipline? Now, this would be a very interesting answer, because at first they'll compromise relatively well with little corrections and whatnot here and there. But as it intensifies, it's going to escalate pretty quick.
well, Shadow Gamer.
Yeah, okay. So think about this. Allah is more merciful than us sometimes. We are sometimes does not have mercy as Allah, right? And we
But-
sometimes very hard with each other as a human being, especially.
But hang on a sec. Allah's as equally as wrathful as he is merciful. You've only got to get to Quran chapter 30 or chapter 4, where it says, if the unbelief becomes too much, the Muslims are to burn you in a fire, as many as are in this state, one after the other. Quran chapter 4. You look it up. I think it's 26 or something. So Allah can be as merciful as he wants, but some of his instructions are absolutely just terrorism, murderous, abominable. So you can doll this up, you can pretty it up, but I can assure you, in one Islamic community where they're gracious, a lack of discipline will be tolerated for so long to a certain point. If she goes traveling somewhere and ends up in what appears to be a welcoming, gracious Muslim community and hangs around long enough to find out that it's not, that it's radicalized, that it hasn't updated to latest Western culture values as far as it can, she'd be in for a rude shock, and that's just how it is.
Some, as you said, when you go to the masjid, or some people does not understand your way or look at you in a weird way, or even you like feel like, oh my god, those Muslimin, am I doing right? And then sometimes even
Now, but hang on a minute. See, what he's trying to do is doll up. He's dolling up. He's prettying up suspicion and caution. Suspicion in the Muslim world, caution in the Muslim world, caution in the Western world, because Muslims have made a terrible name for themselves relative to the terrorism. Now, that's not all, but it impacts upon all, and they know it. So what he's going to do is stroke the mentality of this woman's ego and hopefully convince the viewers as well, because she's just reminded him indirectly that they are live.
we go like a race. So you know what? If they wear hijab, I will wear niqab. If they wear if they do this way, I will do this way. It's like a race, right? So race is right is wrong, and also to go there, I feel vulnerable, which is I understand. If I go to church and then I'm a new for example to Christianity, I will feel like, oh, all of them look at me and all of them just like, oh my god, like I'm doing wrong, right? It's a normal feeling that you feel. But back to the track, the idea is the more you have this confidence in yourself that I'm still baby, I'm learning, sir. I'm on a baby step, sir. So this mood is very, very important. Meaning that like I go to the masjid. Okay, I always even say this to my students. Go to the masjid. If someone says wrong, say okay, excusez-moi, as a French people says. Can you teach me how to do it? Now you do what? Now you mirror that all of them vulnerability to them. So make them okay. You are a Muslim for whatever years, sir. Just teach me how to do it because that's your right on me, right? We have something called the hukuk, means rights. Islam based on rights. Haqq al-Muslim, you have a right upon your brother in Islam or upon your sister. Your sister shouldn't just criticize you, but also should teach you, right? So you go there, say,
So the criticism's going to be there and you'll get the little bit of a hurry up, but it's going to come down to how you take it, because this is all getting compared with Christianity, right? He just said if you go to the church and blah, blah, blah. Don't worry, all cults are the same, be it Christian or Muslim. They'll love bomb you at the start, and then you've got to start to conform. They'll give you so much room. They'll put you through a system, and by the time you come through the foundational systems, you better conform.
okay, can you tell me how? If I do wrong, Allah is more merciful. Don't worry. Allah knows that you are learning. And now you will learn and learn and learn. And inshallah, you will even can be like a big scholar in this. Like now nowadays, I always said we have even now Imam Tom, who can think like years and years ago as a Muslims that we have Imam, his name is Tom. Never ever. Especially with our Islamic institution as Al-Azhar, Medina or something, the scholars even does not in these places never ever think about someone could be converted to be Muslim and then he knows Islam very, very well and he become an Imam. Okay, mashallah, good, very good for you. So that's what I'm trying to say is you can be as a new Muslim better than anyone, right? But again, it's need to be baby steps. Okay, in a baby, you cannot, if you see a baby, he never run in a minute. No, even with a baby, he go and then he failed and then he go and then he failed and he go until he won and he run. Sometimes he become like in a marathon, right? This was a baby too when he was young. So it's all about this to learn, but don't give yourself all the time, I'm wrong. طب what does the community think about me? That is makes many people even run away from the way. Don't think about them. Just think about you. Again, it's not an easy task. I agree with you 1,000,000%. But confidence. Be confident enough. You go to the masjid for praying, not for hearing, okay, come, you are wrong, you are right. And if you hear this, just tell them, please teach me because that's your right upon me. I want to know what is this way. Okay, can I do the salah even with, there's always the people ask, can you do in English? Do in anything. Just do. Just do anything. Like, because it starts with the baby steps. Because sometimes people think, okay, you know what? I need to know every single dua in the salah, right? So when we stand, we say this, and it's Arabic. It's impossible. Okay, 1 second. Those Muslimin that how old is she? 60 years old. When she was a baby, she learned this. Do you think that you will learn 60 years old of knowledge in 1 day, in 2 days, in 3?
Okay, in saying that, do you think a 9-year-old should be married and pregnant? No. There's a lot missing.
Days? No, it's impossible. So take it easy also. You can say like Al-Fatiha, for example, which is a basic thing, and then say the dua. Even learn a little bit like Subhana Rabbi Azim when you are making like, little thing that you can. Day by day, you will have accumulation of learning. And inshallah, you will go to the stage that you feel like, oh, mashallah, I know everything. But again, learning is accumulation learning. That's why the revelation came to Rasulullah not in a day. It can be so easy to come to Jibreel alayhi salam, say to Muhammad, come here, Muhammad, here's the Quran, bye bye, salam alaikum, alaikum salam. Very easy, right? He's Allah, has a power. But why in all of these years? And then go incident happened, and then he said to him, and then back again, and he said to him, Ya Rasulullah, O Prophet, Allah send you this, and back and forth and back and forth.
And that's really all it is, back and forth. The new convert often believes that greatest challenge will be learning the rules. In reality, the greatest challenge may be surviving the pressure. He's making out there is no pressure. At first, mistakes are tolerated, questions are welcome, patience is extended. But as time passes, expectations increase, and what was once viewed as ignorance may be viewed as reluctance or even unbelief. And this can be critical. And again, it comes down to what community you're in and who are running it. What was once viewed as ignorance can easily begin to be viewed as reluctance, and what's once viewed as uncertainty may begin to be viewed as resistance. The convert gradually discovers that progress is not always measured by understanding, but by conformity, and this is where the frustration begins. The more a person delays compliance, the more attention they may attract. Because a lot of these Western women want their cake and eat it too. They don't want to completely give up their Western ways. A lot of these women have children that come out of Christian families, and they're reluctant to not culturalize them, their children, in their religious origins. And this will aggravate the Muslims as well. The more they question, the more suspicion can emerge within these environments, particularly if they're rigid. A convert should therefore ask a critical question. Am I being encouraged to pursue truth, or am I being pressured to accelerate conformity? It's usually the latter. And these are not the same thing. Truth welcomes investigation. Institutions often demand progress. Truth can tolerate delay. Institutions frequently become irritated by delay. So the ultimate test is not how a community treats someone on the day they convert. The ultimate test is how it treats them 6 months later, 12 months later, 18, 24 months later, when they are still asking difficult questions, still wrestling with doctrine, still unconvinced about certain teachings, and still refusing to surrender to their conscience. And a healthy community remains patient. A rigid community becomes aggravated. And sometimes that aggravation reveals more about the institution than the convert. So the most important question is not whether a community welcomes you when you arrive. It's whether it still respects your freedom when your progress no longer follows its timetable. I'll see you in the next one, viewers.